Cardinals are going up against Freddy Peralta and the Brewers. So if we'll take a look at Peralta's numbers so far this year, let's see. Pretty dang good. A 1.16 whip, 2.69 ERA, 87th percentile in the pitching run value. All of the contact stats are good. The strikeout rate is high. Does have a somewhat high walk rate at 9.7%. And he's not getting the ball on the ground very often, so maybe the Cardinals could find some hard-hit baseballs, put him in a gap with some line drives, because they are a good team at hitting line drives. That could be the approach today. Game is about to get underway, so let's move our way over. He throws a lot of four-seam fastballs, 60% with those, 20% with the changeup, and then he has a couple of breaking pitches as well. In center field today, it'll be Churio, Collins in left, Frelick in right, so the same outfield. It will be Durbin at third, Ortiz at short, Turang at second, Hoskins at first with Contreras behind the plate. So the exact same lineup for the Brewers as far as positions go, with Yelich at DH, and Nootbaar is starting today as the leadoff hitter. Here's the first pitch of the game from Peralta to Nootbaar. Taken for a strike with the four-seam fastball up and away. It's 0-1. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Nootbaar. Low and away, popped up. Deep in, but caught at short by Ortiz. I was going to say deep into the infield, but it was on the outfield grass, so a tough thing to say. One out, nobody on. That'll bring up Mason Wynn. So a 2-pitch out for Peralta to start the day. The Cardinals lineup looks about the same as it has in recent games. The only change is at the bottom of the order. It is Michael Ciani getting the start. He got called up from the minor leagues with the Jordan Walker injury and Velade not performing too well. So he's playing in favor of Victor Scott today. So Michael Ciani getting his second run this season. It's 1-0 now on Mason Wynn after a fastball missed inside. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Check swing at the top of the zone. It's a strike. 1-1. Peralta's working pretty fast to start this game. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Wynn. Chopper up the middle. Easy play at second for Turang. He had him played perfectly. That's out number 2. So 2 outs, nobody on. That'll bring up Ivan Herrera, one of the best hitters in the Cardinals lineup this year. Definitely the best hitter in the lineup today, with Donovan still out. I do want to check and see if Donovan's been placed on the retroactive IL. I don't believe he has. I think he's just getting like the series off, first few games maybe. Here's the first pitch to Herrera. Inside, popped up, but that will get into the seats. It's 0-1. Herrera in 37 games is hitting .308 with a .913 OPS. It's 0-1 right now. Here's the 0-1 pitch from Peralta. It is way downstairs with the slider, 1-1. So if we check out the Cardinals IL, it looks like Walker and Thompson still. So Donovan's still on the roster. Just getting some more time to heal up as Herrera swings over a slider. It's 1-2. So 2 outs, nobody on. Let's see if Peralta can have a 1-2-3. The 1-2 pitch. Upstairs, 2-2. Missed up with the fastball. Peralta trying to finish this inning in just 10 pitches if he can get the out right here. Herrera is ready. Here's the 2-2 pitch to Ivan Herrera. Inside, fouled back. We'll do it again. Good at bat from Herrera. Herrera does have 7 home runs in those 37 games. 31 runs driven in. The 2-2 pitch. Fastball missed outside. It's 3-2. So a full count on Herrera with 2 outs. Wilson Contreras is waiting on deck. He is the first baseman today. Here's the 3-2. Popped foul. We'll do it again. Great at-bat from Herrera. So far this year, with a full count, Herrera is 6 for 18. So a perfect 333 right there. 24% walk rate in full count situations and a 32% strikeout rate. The 3-2 pitch. Right down the middle, a swing and a miss at 96. Down goes Herrera, and Peralta's out of it. 1-2-3. We go to the bottom of the first, scoreless in Milwaukee. It will be Erick Fedde facing the Brewers today. He had a great outing last time against the Dodgers. So it's going to be Frelick, Chourio, and Contreras. Pretty much the same Brewers lineup. So we can take a look at Fedde's numbers. Here you can see Donovan is still on the roster. How is Fedde doing? He's above average. Pretty high walk rate, pretty low strikeout rate, bad contact numbers, bad ground ball rate. I really have no idea how he's doing well. I think it's just the defense. Just keep putting it in the zone if you can. Yeah, the defense behind him has been great. He was good last year, mostly with the White Sox, if we look at that. Peripherals still weren't fantastic, but he did have a low walk rate last year, a higher ground ball rate, and a pretty soft average exit velocity, so that helped him out a ton. This year, the whip is up to a 1.3, and the ERA up to a 3.54, but it's still not bad. The stats aren't bad. He's still an above-average starting pitcher. You just hope he can get that strikeout rate up a little bit, get the walk rate down for sure, because keeping the walk rate down is how you pitch well on the Cardinals. You have that great defense behind you. Obviously, it's a little bit worse when you don't have Donovan at second or Walker in right, because you end up with Burleson in the outfield and Gorman playing at second, which isn't as effective, but still a good defense behind you. You have Wynn at short, Arenado at third. Got to put it in the zone. So we are back. Let's see if Fedde can execute that game plan. A lot of sinkers and cutters, and also 25% sweepers. So those 3 pitches make up the majority for Fedde. 10% changeups on the bottom of the list. First pitch is a sinker for a strike at the top of the zone. It's 0-1 on Frelick. So the Cardinals defense today, as the sweeper misses outside, it's 1-1. Has Nootbaar in left, Burleson in right, Ciani in center, with Pedro Pajes behind the plate. The 1-1 pitch is popped up. Shallow infield. That'll be called by Contreras at first base. He will make the catch. So we'll go around the infield. Contreras at first, Gorman at second, Arenado at third, and Wynn at short, with Herrera playing DH, and that is the Cardinals lineup today. So 1 out, nobody on. That will bring up Jackson Chourio, the center fielder of the Brewers. First pitch to Jackson Chourio is outside with the sinker, 1-0. Chourio in 69 games has a 735 OPS and 12 home runs, the 1-0. Caught the bottom of the zone with the sinker, 1-1. Obviously, he was a fantastic player for them last year and helped them a lot in that playoff run, although it was cut short by Pete Alonso. As Chourio fouls one back, it's 1-2. In yesterday's game, Chourio hit a monster 2-run home run to center field to put the team up 6-0, and they never relinquished that lead. Here's the 1-2 from Fedde to Chourio. Got him with a sinker on the outside corner, and down goes Chourio. That is the first strikeout of the day for Fedde. Churio might not have liked the call, but it did catch that bottom of the zone. So that will bring up William Contreras, who is playing against his brother. So every time he reaches first base, he'll get to have a discussion with his brother. So who knows what they're talking about over there. We'll see if he gets to reach today. I don't know if he did yesterday. Looked like a rough game for him yesterday. Takes strike one on the outside corner, 0-1. One of the only players who didn't do well in yesterday's game, but he's done well against Fedde. A career .571 average against Erick Fedde. As he chops one over to short, Mason Wynn makes the play, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for both sides, so we go to the second, completely scoreless in Milwaukee. It'll be Wilson Contreras due up first, so we get to see them hit back-to-back. And that is where I'll go now. So he's finally above average in the batting value. You expect that to just keep continuing to rise. The outs above average are pretty good at first base with 4. That is a really nice stat for Contreras. Making great contact, hitting the ball hard, sweet spot, launch angle. Everything's great when it comes to his contact. He just needs to walk a little bit more, strike out a little bit less. But all of that happened at the beginning of the year. Contreras has been fantastic. And one thing I pointed out yesterday is when you look at William Contreras, him and his brother have opposite savant pages. So you see here, really good contact numbers, doesn't square it up a lot, doesn't chase, or he chases too much and strikes out too much. William Contreras, I guess he whiffs a good amount as well, but the contact numbers are down and the walk rate is really, really high. So it's just really strange to me that that's the case. 14.5% walk rate. He's in the upper half of the league in these stats on the bottom and in the lower half on the top. Well, you go back to Wilson. Wilson makes great contact when he swings the bat. The only thing that's similar is that whiff rate. So it looks like Donovan sprained his big toe. That is what happened. He will be back very soon, it looks like. Not going to go on the IL. So that's good news for the Cardinals. That he'll be back soon. Here's the pitch to Wilson. Smoked to left field, but it's going to be playable. And a nice back-pedaling grab in left by Collins. 1 out. And that's going to bring up Alec Burleson. So no base runners for either side so far. Burleson playing right field today, hitting .292 on the year with a .753 OPS. Batting from that left-hand side. Here's the first pitch from Peralta. Inside with the fastball, 1-0. Burleson has 5 home runs in 58 games so far. Not a terrible pace. The 1-0 is fouled back, 1-1. He's been heating up about the same pace as Contreras, although Contreras has been a lot better recently. They both have finished with about the same OPS so far this year, 753 versus 751. Here's the 2-1 to Burleson. He'll ground one over to the right side. Easy play at first. Hoskins makes the play. 2 outs, and that's going to bring up Nolan Arenado. So nothing doing offensively for either side so far. See if Arenado can get the hitting started here. He has been great against Freddy Peralta in his career, a 909 OPS, 3 home runs, and a 276 average. Freddy throwing a lot of those four-seam fastballs, and Nolan good at hitting them. The pitch. Inside with the fastball, he drives it to left, but he did not get it this time. Caught in front of the track by Collins, and will go to the bottom of the second, still without a base runner in Milwaukee. I thought he might have got that one, but just missed it. It was a little bit too far inside on the hands. He got under it. It'll be Yelich, Hoskins, and Collins. So we might as well grab Christian Yelich's page. Just a little bit above average for him so far this year. You expect a lot better. Still walking a good amount, over 10% of the time. But the strikeout rate is pretty high at 26.8. And he just isn't producing the contact numbers you'd expect. Barrel rate at 35th percentile last year. It was not that high, but you can see he was hitting the ball really hard, which brought up the expected batting average, expected slug. Didn't strike out nearly as much. Produced a 910 OPS in the limited sample. And 2 years ago, that was about what he was doing as well. Barrel rate above average. Launch angle's never been great for him, but is he good now? No, so you don't really expect it. I remember him telling a story about Barry Bonds doing a drill with him. Like Yelich told the story, I believe, on John Boy Media's podcast, where Barry Bonds did a batting practice drill where he had him hit the ball into the plate and then just slowly brought his launch angle up until he was just putting backspin on everything and hitting homers. And that produced an MVP level season. Let's see, was it 2021 or 2019? 2019. So did the launch angle improve? Did they even... Oh, I guess it was better than it is now. And he was crushing the ball. But I guess that's just not the case anymore. First pitch to Yelich is grounded over to first. Tossed to Fedde. And that's out number one. Good play by Contreras. So 1 out with nobody on. And that's going to bring up Rhys Hoskins. So no base runners for either side. Let's see if Hoskins is the guy to break the spell. First pitch is outside 1-0. That was the sinker. Hoskins hitting .252 this year with a .774 OPS. The 1-0 pitch. Right down the middle with the sinker. It's 1-1. Earlier today, Paul Skeens got the start against the Cubs and beat them. It was a 2-1 victory for the Pirates in extra innings. As the cutter catches the bottom of the zone, it's 1-2. Good pitch from Fedde. Hoskins is down 1-2. And calls time. The 1-2 pitch to Hoskins is outside with the sweeper, 2-2. He almost chased that one. The Reds are in Detroit right now, facing the best team in baseball, the Tigers. Cubs playing the Pirates. And then we have this huge divisional matchup right here between the Cardinals and the Brewers. 3-2 pitch. Ground ball. Mason Wynn at short makes the play. So 2 outs in the second. This game has been 6 up, 6 down for the Cardinals and 5 up, 5 down for the Brewers. And their 6th hitter of the game is Isaac Collins. He is hitting .241 on the year with a .711 OPS. Basically, their entire roster had a good day yesterday at the plate. Here's the pitch from Fedde. Driven the other way, foul. It's 0-1. The 0-1 pitch. A beautiful sweeper caught the lower outside corner. It's 0-2. That was a great pitch from Fedde. Brewers manager not having it. Shaking his head, the 0-2. Upstairs, 1-2. Now he's looking at the camera. The Brewers are the 4th best team in baseball, according to best records since May 18th. Although that doesn't make any sense. I believe they're actually tied for first, because that graphic showed them as having a lower percentage than a team with the same record as them. So I don't know who's making graphics, but I believe they're tied for first with the Yankees in that stat. Here's the 2-2. Got him with the low and outside sweeper. Down goes Collins. Another strikeout for Fedde. That is his second, and we go to the third with no base runners for either team in Milwaukee. So it's going to be Gorman due up first, so it's always good to look at Gorman. Is he getting started? I don't know if he's quite cranking it up yet. I believe he's still a negative hitter so far this year. Yep. But it's getting there. About an average fielder. A little bit below average as a hitter. 677 OPS. But he does look threatening at the plate. Really nice walk rate at 12.3%. I mean, when he's right, it's looked like this. He still strikes out a lot. He actually is striking out maybe his career lowest so far, 29.2%. Yeah, this is his career low in strikeout rate, so can't really complain about that. It's what he does as a player. You just hope that he can get this type of contact when he does make contact once again. A lot of the pitches in 2023 were fastballs, missed right over the heart of the plate, and then the league kind of figured him out after that. But he's made some adjustments this year, and you can see him starting to carve a path back into the big leagues. So Nolan Gorman, just an exciting guy to keep track of. Obviously, you have Pedro Pajas, the defensive catcher. He'll be hitting. And then Michael Ciani. Definitely want to take a look at Ciani. Obviously, he hasn't had much of a sample for this year, so we can look at last year, because this year so far he has 16 at-bats. It's not enough to really judge. Wasn't a very good hitter last year. Did hit 2 home runs and have 20 stolen bases, so fantastic fielding, 99th percentile and outs above average. Decent sprint speed, he could steal a lot of bases. And I guess he didn't chase, so that's always good. Pretty good launch angle as well. But wasn't a super quality hitter. That's why Victor Scott was able to come up. But anyway, Gorman is at the plate now. Somehow I missed a couple pitches. The 1-1 pitch is driven up the middle. Easy play at short. And the play is made, so still no base runners. Gorman goes down. That'll bring up Pedro Pajas with 1 out in the third. Pajas playing catcher today, hitting .213 on the year with a 620 OPS in 51 games played. First pitch. Outside 1-0. Pajas has 5 home runs in those 51 games. That's not bad. 22 RBIs, the 1-0 pitch. Outside, did catch the corner, 1-1. Pajas having a quick word with the ump, making sure that that goes both ways. Here's the 1-1 from Peralta. Swing and a miss on a slider outside the zone, 1-2. Tough at bat for Pages, as that first pitch was borderline and forced him to try to reach out for that one. Those are the little adjustments you have to make at the big league level based on the umpire, which may go away next year with the challenge system. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss on a slider low and away. Strikeout for Peralta. That will put him at 2 strikeouts. And it will bring up Michael Ciani. So Peralta and Fedde having very similar outings so far. Both of them have 2 strikeouts. Both have not allowed a base runner. Let's see if Ciani can break it up. The first pitch to Michael Ciani is right down the middle for a strike. It's 0-1. Ciani hitting .250 so far this year with a .544 OPS in a very limited sample. 18 games played this year, a lot of that as a defensive replacement. The 0-1 is outside 1-1. I believe he has 16 at-bats this year, so in 18 games, that's obviously mostly just defensive replacement games. Here is the 1-1 pitch to Ciani. Low and away, fouled back, 1-2. Peralta looking to complete his first time through the order without a single base runner. The 1-2 pitch to Michael Ciani. Top of the zone, fouled back, still 1-2. That was the 30th pitch of the game for Peralta, so he's been at about 10 pitches per inning. No base runners allowed so far. That is an incredible game. Let's see if he can keep it up. The 1-2 to Ciani. Low and away, fouled back again. So a great at-bat from Ciani at the bottom of the order, making Peralta work just a little bit more and trying to reach base for Nootbaar, who is on deck. One-two is fouled off again. Great job by Ciani. I believe Victor Scott partially might be just getting the day off today due to that hit to the head. Yesterday he was hit by a pitch in the helmet, and they want to make sure he is good to go. So Ciani is in the field today. The 1-2 in the dirt with the curveball, 2-2. Having Nootbaar in left and Ciani in center will definitely help out with the outfield to cover for Burleson and anything close. Here is the 2-2 pitch to Ciani. Swing and a miss on a fastball way above the zone, and Peralta is through it. He's through 3 with no base runners allowed. We go to the bottom of the 3rd. No base runners for the Brewers either so far. So it's going to be Turang, Durbin, and Ortiz. Couple guys that are tough to get out. See if Fedde can keep it up. Turang's been a good hitter this year, a .695 OPS. That's better than he was last year. Also has 15 stolen bases compared to 50 last year. Based on the plate appearance number, he is on pace to have fewer stolen bases if he played the same amount of games, but I think he'll play some more games and finish with just barely fewer stolen bases, but a better season overall. He's been really good. Good on the defense. I mean, above average almost across the board. Just doesn't barrel up the ball very often, but you don't really expect him to. He's only 25 years old and a very valuable player at second base. Really low whiff rate last year. That's carried over pretty well so far into this season. Durbin at 3rd. 25 years old, 608 OPS. He doesn't strike out. That's the one thing for sure that he has going for him. He just also doesn't walk very often. Pretty good base runner. Also 25 years old, so they have a really nice young core going on. Developing some players. As the game is about to be back. Here we go. First pitch is upstairs to Turang. It's 1-0. The 1-0 pitch to Turang is a swing and a miss on a cutter up and in, 1-1. Bryce Turang has 1.4 WAR accumulated so far this year. 4 home runs in 67 games with a 695 OPS. As he takes a changeup below the zone, 2-1. He is hitting .265 batting average. The 2-1 pitch from Fedde is fouled away, 2-2. A very speedy second baseman. The 2-2 pitch. Right down the middle with the sinker. Strike 3, and down goes Turang. Caught him looking, and that is the third strikeout of the game for Fedde. And that'll bring up Caleb Durbin. Durbin is hitting .206 this year with a 608 OPS. Very low strikeout rate for him. But he doesn't get on base too often. Here is the first pitch from Fedde. Just upstairs with the cutter. It's 1-0. The 1-0 pitch. Caught the lower outside corner for a strike. It's 1-1. Neither team has produced a base runner so far. Here's the 29th pitch of the game from Fedde. Check swing. Yes, he did on a sweeper outside. It's 1-2. If this goes on for 4.5 innings, then you could say that 27 straight outs were recorded by the two of them. But we are not close to there yet. The 1-2 pitch to Durbin is a check swing roller to Wynn, who makes a tough play and gets the out at first. Down goes Durbin. Great barehanded play by Mason Wynn. He had to charge that one as it was a very slow roller off the bat. But Wynn is up for the task and has the arm to get a guy like Durbin. 2 outs, and that'll bring up Joey Ortiz. First pitch from Fedde to Ortiz is outside with the sweeper, 1-0. In 68 games, Ortiz is having a rough year so far. Sinker right down the middle for a strike. It's 1-1. Negative 0.2 WAR accumulated, 2 home runs in 68 games with a 516 OPS and just a 190 average. But he smokes this one to left, but not hard enough. Nootbaar is there, and that is out number 3. We are through 3 innings. Neither team has a base runner so far. Back to the top of the orders we go. Mason Wynn after Nootbaar, and then it'll be Herrera. Okay. They had Wynn on the screen after that great play at short. Made me think he was leading off the inning, but it will be Nootbaar. Just want to make that clear. Here we go. Back to Newt. So how low has it gotten for Nootbaar? Now, still above average across the board, except for that expected batting average and expected slug. So a really rough patch in the season for Nootbaar has brought his season totals down. 230, 334, 368, 702 OPS, which is way below what you'd expect. We're going to need Nootbaar to heat back up. Can't live in this area as a leadoff hitter. The 759 OPS from last year would be good enough. You just need to do it over the course of a full season, and Nootbaar is starting to lose it. So we really hope that that picks up soon. Obviously, Herrera's been great. Still unqualified, I believe, so. Oh, no, he's a qualified hitter now. So simply 85th percentile. Here's the stats in their official percentiles. That's nice to see. 10 batting run value, good expected stats. Doesn't hit the ball too hard, but he doesn't strike out, walks a ton. Pretty good catcher as well. Let's get ready to watch Nootbaar. We can throw Mason Wynn up there, though. He made a great play. Good hitter, great fielder, good base runner. And he has a great launch angle. 37.7% in the sweet spot. That is awesome. Also a very low strikeout rate. And he doesn't whiff. So here we go. First pitch change up for a strike on Nootbaar. It's 0-1. Second pitch to Nootbaar. Still looking for our first base runner. In the dirt, it's 1-1. The 1-1 pitch from Freddy Peralta is outside, 2-1 on Nootbaar. One thing Nootbaar's been great at over the course of the year is drawing a walk. If that's what it takes to have a base runner, that's what it takes. The 2-1 pitch to Nootbaar is in there for a strike with the curveball, 2-2. So Peralta not letting him waste any time here. Nootbaar's going to have to swing the bat. Let's see what Peralta has for him. The 2-2 pitch to Noot is a fastball low and away, fouled back, still 2-2. So after the pop out in the first, Nootbaar's OPS has hit exactly 700. You really don't want it to fall below that point. Nootbaar is ready. The 2-2 pitch from Peralta. Check swing. Yes, he did. Strikeout of Nootbaar. Down he goes. The OPS does fall below 700. He is 0 for 2, and neither team still has a base runner. Peralta is up above 40 pitches now, using over 2/3 fastballs so far in the game. And at this rate, he could go the entire 9 innings. Perfect. But we'll see if someone breaks it up. Here's the pitch to Wynn. Inside, 1-0. Nootbaar was the 4th strikeout of the day for Peralta. Wynn at the plate. The 1-0 pitch to Mason Wynn. Up and away, perfectly placed fastball. 1-1. Wynn just made a great play at shortstop, charging in with the bare hand. Let's see if he can carry the momentum over to the plate. The 1-1, swing and a miss on a fastball away. It's 1-2. Peralta's stuff looks incredible today. 97 miles an hour. Looks like a very high spin rate as well. One-two pitch to Mason Wynn. Right down the middle. Fly ball to right. Easy play out there. And the catch is made by Frelick for out number 2. So Ivan Herrera is the Cardinals' last hope to get a base runner in the 4th. He is 0 for 1 with a strikeout today. Here's the first pitch. Swing and a miss on a slider way low and away. 0-1. It looked like Herrera was guessing for the fastball there. It's the only explanation for that. The 0-1 pitch to Herrera is in the dirt, 1-1. Herrera has 7 home runs on the year. He's finally a qualified hitter as of today. The 1-1 pitch to Ivan Herrera. Up and in for a ball, it's 2-1. Herrera and Donovan are a couple of guys who might have a chance of making the All-Star game this year. We'll see pretty soon. Here is the 2-1 pitch to Herrera. Right down the middle with a changeup. That was a great pitch from Peralta. It's 2-2. So after 5 no-hit innings yesterday by the rookie in his first start, Peralta tries to go 4 perfect innings to one-up him. Here's the 2-2 to Herrera. Pulled for a base hit, and Herrera is the first base runner for either team with a single. That breaks up a no-hit attempt as well. Nothing special for the Brewers so far, anymore at least, with a man on. This was just a hanging slider, low and in. Herrera put the barrel on it and pulled it just past the shortstop for a base hit. Nothing Ortiz could have done about that one. 1 man on with 2 outs, and that will bring up Wilson Contreras. First pitch to Contreras. Fastball right at the bottom of the zone, 0-1. Peralta's stuff looks great so far today. Seems like Wilson's always trying not to smile with his brother behind the plate. The 0-1 pitch. In the dirt with a changeup, 1-1. So Herrera on first now. Extra base hit could give the Cardinals an early lead in this one. With 2 outs here in the 4th. The 1-1 pitch to Contreras. Low and in with the changeup, 2-1. Long pause here. He's going to check on Herrera at first. Absolutely nothing doing. That is the first disengagement. We are back focused on Contreras. The 2-1 pitch to him is up and in for a ball. It's 3-1 now on Wilson Contreras. On deck is Alec Burleson, Cardinal right fielder. Let's see what Freddy Peralta can serve up for Wilson Contreras here. The 3-1 pitch with Herrera on first. Right down the middle with the changeup for a strike. It's 3-2. So Herrera will get a head start with this pitch. An extra base hit would drive him in with Burleson on deck. Here's a very impactful pitch in the game. The 3-2 pitch to Contreras. Pulled over to third base. Playable over there. And it's made by Durbin. So we go to the bottom of the 4th. Still scoreless in Milwaukee. Great job by Freddy Peralta, but there will be no perfect game today for the Brewers. So it'll be Fedde against the top of the order. Sal Frelick due up first. For batting run value. Really low strikeout rate for him as well. And he's doing really well this year. Good expected batting average, so just squares up the ball. High expected batting average, just doesn't hit it too hard. Also 25 years old. It's an interesting strategy by the Brewers. Just get as many 25-year-olds as you can. Obviously, that will allow you to steal a lot of bases, so I see some logic in that. And they'll also hit their primes at the same time, which has the benefit of a really good team before they all leave, but the downside of their contracts all expiring at the same time, and you're going to have to pay the right ones. So it's an interesting development, but the game is back. Here we go. Erick Fedde trying to stay effective so far. Has not allowed anybody to reach base. It'll be Sal Frelick due up first for the Brewers. Frelick hitting .291 this year with a .746 OPS. He is 0 for 1. What in the world? I just got an OxyClean ad, so is the game back or was that just glitched out? Because it seemed like a really fast commercial break, but I guess we'll go back. Just throw the Frelick numbers back up there. We haven't looked at Churio, so I can throw him up. Seems like the game should be back by now. Churio, a little bit above average as a hitter. Great range in the outfield. Great sprint speed. There's no way that the game's not back by now. I'm going back. Okay, it's 1-2 on Frelick, so that was just a glitch. Either way, the 1-2 pitch, he's in the dirt, 2-2. So nothing I could have done about that. Here is the 2-2 to Sal Frelick with nobody on in the fourth. Pulled up the middle off the glove of Fedde, and that's going to be a base hit. So Frelick, the first base runner for the Brewers today with nobody on, and Fedde was hit by that ball. So hopefully he's okay. Rubbing his leg right now. Also checking on his wrist. It's really an unfortunate way to lose it. I also wish I was able to see the beginning of the at-bat, but let's see. This pitch was hit right back at his hand. It actually hit him right in the wrist area. So it's going to be that left arm with the glove. So we'll see if he can catch the ball. If he can, he could stay in the game. Having a quick discussion with him, maybe getting someone ready in the bullpen. Frelick on first base. He's going to be given a hit for that. So nothing perfect today, but still a very good outing so far from Fedde. He'll just have to work with a man on and nobody out. If it hit him in the bone, that would be way more painful. It looked like something he could have caught. But maybe the glove was falling off? I don't know. They're going to give him some warm-up tosses. 89 right there. Looked fine. Infielders returning to their spots. 90 right down the middle. Looks all right. All right. So Fedde has thrown 40 pitches, but you got to account for this potential injury over the course of the rest of the game. So maybe 80 pitches will be the limit for him today. Definitely don't expect him to go to 100. And he will stay in the game. So Sal Frelick on first base. 1 hit apiece for the two teams in this one. Jackson Churio will step up to the plate with Frelick on first. Nobody out in the fourth. And it'll be 2-3-4 for the Brewers here. The first pitch. popped up, playable in center field for Ciani, who will make the grab for out number 1. So 1 out. That'll bring up William Contreras, who is 0 for 1 today. So he will bat with a man on. You'd like to see him with nobody on because he's a lot better with runners in scoring position, but at least the runner's not in scoring position yet. So it's 1-0 on William Contreras. He is 0 for 1 with a ground out back in the first, hitting .237 on the year. The 1-0 pitch from Fedde. Ground ball, hard hit past Arenado down the third base line. It's going to get into the corner for extra bases, and Frelick will fly around third and come in to score. It is 1-0 Brewers in the fourth. An RBI double for William Contreras puts the Brewers on top early. It was just a hanging slider. He put it on the ground, which meant that I thought Arenado might be able to get to it, but he hit it just a little too hard for Arenado to range over. And William has an early RBI in this one. So that's going to bring up Christian Yelich with William Contreras on second. First pitch to Yelich. Inside 1-0. The 1-0 pitch. Inside 2-0 now. So Yelich ahead in the count. Fedde might be pitching around him, but that would be risky with a home run hitter like Hoskins on deck. Here is the 2-0 pitch. Puts it in the zone low and away with the changeup. Fouled off. 2-1. Just some bad luck for Erick Fedde in this inning. 1 inch lower and he would have caught that ball. He would have been perfectly fine. No run would have been able to score. And this double wouldn't have meant anything. But instead it's 1-0 Brewers. Here's the 2-1 to Yelich. Swing and a miss on a sweeper below the zone. 2-2. We'll see if Fedde can hold the Brewers to 1 in this inning. The 2-2 pitch to Christian Yelich with 1 out. Fouled back, still 2-2. Yelich is hitting .254 this year with runners in scoring position. The 2-2 pitch to Yelich. Just inside with the sinker. 3-2. Pajes didn't do a great job of framing that one. He accidentally brought the glove over a little further than he was planning on it. And I believe that cost Fedde the call there. It wasn't quite in the zone, but could have been framed that way. The 3-2. Low and in, and that's ball 4. So Yelich will reach. That'll bring up Rhys Hoskins with 2 on and 1 out in the fourth. Hoskins is 0 for 1 so far today. Take strike 1 at the bottom of the zone. It was a sweeper. 0-1. So William Contreras on second. Christian Yelich on first. Rhys Hoskins at the plate with 1 out in the fourth. The Brewers lead this one 1-0. Here's the 0-1 pitch from Fedde. Fouled back 0-2. That was 94 right down the middle. Fedde up above 50 pitches now. Looking to go 6 or 7. The 0-2 pitch to Hoskins. Low and away in the dirt. Good job by Pajes to block that. It's still a 2-strike count. It's 1-2. Also still a double play situation. The 1-2 pitch to Hoskins. Fouled back on a sinker at the bottom of the zone. Still 1-2. Cardinal momentum kind of stalled so far in this one. After Fedde was hit by that pitch. Here's the 1-2 from Fedde to Hoskins. He reaches out and pokes it into the air. Infield fly rule in effect. It is called. Mason Wynn makes the grab. 2 outs in the 4th. And that will bring up Isaac Collins. Collins is 0 for 1 today with a strikeout. Hitting .239 on the year with a .705 OPS. Starting in left field. The pitch from Fedde. He is upstairs 1-0. Seems like Fedde has lost a little bit of his command after getting hit by the ball as well. Which is a really frustrating development. But here's the 1-0 pitch. Just downstairs with the sinker, 2-0. .2-0 pitch, right down the middle for a strike. Pajes tries to backpick Contreras, doesn't get him. It's 2-1. That was a good idea by Pajes. Collins is ready. 2 outs, 2 men on. The 2-1 pitch from Fedde. In there for a strike, a perfect sweeper, low and away, 2-2. Fedde ready to settle back in. The offense ready to support him. I think because both teams are able to break through and get some base runners, I think the Cardinals are primed to hit well next inning. As Fedde steps out. It's going to be his first disengagement, stepping off the rubber. Collins is hitting just .127 this year with 2 strikes. Here's the 2-2 pitch to Isaac Collins. Chopped in the dirt, swing and a miss. Down goes Collins. And we go to the 5th. It is 1-0 Brewers after an RBI double from William Contreras. So it's going to be Alec Burleson, Nolan Arenado, and Nolan Gorman. Well, let's grab Arenado. Still a really low strikeout rate for Arenado. Decent hitting stats. You'd expect more, but he is aging. He's 34 years old. Hopefully he can pick up the home run number over the course of this game. I think he could get Freddy Peralta again, but either way, just extra bases. Get to one of those fastballs. That would be epic. That's what I'm looking for from Arenado. Especially if Burleson's able to reach. Arenado was drafted in 2009 by the Rockies. That was one of their best picks in franchise history. He'll be due up second in a couple minutes. All right. Game about to come back. But MLB TV requires you to watch the ads and puts you further behind. It's kind of annoying. Either way. Here we go. Let's make sure we get live once they give me the opportunity. They're wrapping the hand of Erick Fedde. That is the glove hand. That can't be a good sign. Hopefully he's staying in the game. Either way, Alec Burleson due up first. Here we go. First pitch from Peralta to Burleson. He is in there for a strike. A perfect fastball. 0-1. Burleson is 0 for 1 with a ground out back in the second inning. Here's the 0-1 from Peralta. It is in the dirt. 1-1. Burleson hitting .290 this year with a .749 OPS. Trying to be the second base runner for the Cardinals and get something going ahead of Arenado. The 1-1 pitch. Way downstairs with the changeup, 2-1. Here's the 2-1 to Burleson. Up and away, driven high in the air to left field, and it's going to get over the head of Collins. Extra bases for Burleson. He's going to have a double, and the Cardinals have something brewing in the fifth. Burleson on second, nobody out, and that's going to bring up Nolan Arenado with a man in scoring position and nobody out. It was a fastball up and away, and Burleson just reached the barrel of the bat out there and drove it right over the head of Collins in left field. So here comes Arenado. First pitch from Peralta. Just outside with the slider, 1-0. Arenado is 0 for 1 in the game today. But here's his chance with a man in scoring position. The 1-0 in the dirt. With the slider, it's 2-0. The Brewers are playing him to pull. Big hole on that right side of the infield. Also a hole in right center field. The 2-0 pitch. Fastball at the bottom of the zone. Popped foul. 2-1. Two-one pitch is low with the changeup. 3-1 now on Arenado. Due up next is Nolan Gorman. If Arenado is able to reach, that would put 2 men on for him. There is nobody out in the fifth. Arenado hit a fly out his last time up. Here's the 3-1 pitch from Peralta. Right down the middle, pulled fair down the third base line. That's going to score Burleson. Let's see if Arenado gets 2. Yes, he will. It is a double for Arenado. Great slide to avoid the tag from Turang, and the Cardinals have tied it 1-1. It was a fastball right down the middle. Arenado just put the barrel on it, turned on it, just as he's known to do, pulled it down that left field line and hustled to second base with a great slide to cap it off. We're tied, and now Arenado's in scoring position, still with nobody out. So that'll bring up Nolan Gorman. We'll see if he can move the runner over, try to manufacture the lead here in the fifth. First pitch to Gorman. Fastball above the zone, 1-0. Gorman's a guy who can go get a fastball, especially if you're rattled and you put it in the wrong spot. Arenado on second, nobody out in the fifth. It's a 1-1 ball game. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Gorman. In the dirt, 2-0. Gorman is 0 for 1 with a ground out today, but he is known for being able to hit a home run on fastballs like Peralta's. Here is the 2-0 pitch to Nolan Gorman. Fastball, nope, changeup outside. He flies it out to right. We'll see if Arenado's going to tag. I doubt it. And they will not send him over to third. It was a perfect throw from right field from Frelick. So 1 out now with Arenado on second. Gorman's unable to move him over, and that'll bring up Pedro Pajes. So the Cardinals are going to need a hit from either Pajes or Ciani in order to get the lead. Let's see if Pajes can deliver. Peralta is at 67 pitches. Arenado on second base. First pitch to Pedro Pajes. Outside, fouled back, 0-1. The 0-1 pitch. Instead, a timeout is called, so we'll have to wait for that 0-1. Pajes struck out his last time up. That was the third inning. He's hitting just .212 on the year. Does have 5 home runs. The 0-1 pitch. Right down the middle, fouled back at 98 miles an hour. 0-2. The 0-2 pitch to Pajes. The 70th from Peralta. Puts the slider in the dirt, 1-2. One hunch I have about Freddy Peralta is that he tries to throw the ball harder in a pinch, and he does, but the spin rate doesn't go up, so it's more predictive, I guess, for a hitter. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss on a curveball low and away. Down goes Pajes. There's 2 outs now. Arenado still on second base, and that'll bring up Michael Ciani. Ciani, the last chance here to drive in Arenado at the bottom of the Cardinal order. Ciani was hitting .310 in his last 11 games in AAA. So maybe he'll be able to deliver. The first pitch is outside, 1-0. Missed way outside there by Peralta. Having a really long inning. Up above 71 pitches now. Here's the 1-0 to Ciani. Up and away, 2-0. William Contreras is going to walk out and toss the ball back to him with a couple words. There is a base open with 2 outs here, but you probably don't want to pass the torch here if you are the Brewers. Here is the 2-0 pitch to Ciani. Inside, 3-0, so he missed that one by a mile. 3-0 now on Ciani with Lars Nootbaar waiting on deck. So Arenado on second, a 3-0 count with 2 outs in the 5th. Tie game at 1. Here's the 3-0 from Peralta. Missed it upstairs. That's ball 4, and William is really upset with Freddy. He was trying to signal where to put the ball, just right down the middle, and he was unable to do it. So Peralta walks Ciani. There are now 2 men on for Lars Nootbaar with 2 outs in the 5th. Peralta's thrown 21 pitches in the 4th inning and 20 pitches now in the 5th. 2 of his most stressful innings of the game. So now he will face Nootbaar. Here's the first pitch to Lars Nootbaar. A little upstairs, it's 1-0. William Contreras seems to be getting more and more frustrated with each pitch. Let's see what he calls this time. The 1-0 pitch to Nootbaar. Up and away. Ooh, he gets a terrible strike call from the ump. It is 1-1. That pitch was multiple inches out of the zone. That was a gimme. A really good frame job by Contreras. Here's the 1-1 to Nootbaar. Way upstairs, 2-1. Contreras trying to settle down Peralta, who hasn't put it in the zone in a long time. Very lucky that the count is 2-1. It should be 3-0. So we'll see if Nootbaar's ready for this one. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Go to the fastball above the zone. Nootbaar fouls it back. It is 2-2. Nootbaar's swinging at that one only because it was called a strike last time. So the umpire potentially helping out the Brewers within the context of this inning. But I believe in Nootbaar here. He'll be able to deliver if they give him another one of those. Pitch 80 from Peralta. The 2-2 to Nootbaar. Curveball in the dirt. It is 3-2. So both runners are going to get a head start with this pitch. Runners on first and second with 2 outs in the 5th. A 3-2 count on Lars Nootbaar. Peralta's going to step off. All right, big chance for Nootbaar. 2 outs, 2 men on. The runners get a head start. The 3-2 pitch is taken for strike 3 at the bottom of the zone, and down goes Nootbaar. So 2 men get stranded. Peralta's saved by the umps, and we go to the bottom of the 5th, still tied at 1. Big RBI double from Arenado. That one is frustrating. When a guy's missed with that many pitches in a row, you can't give him a ball. You can't call that a strike on Nootbaar. That's just ridiculous. Absolutely shut down the momentum for the Cardinals. Incredibly, incredibly frustrating. Arenado had a huge double there. It'll be Turang, Durbin, and Ortiz. We'll see if Fedde gets back in the game here. That was a game-changing strike call up and away. Very unfortunate. But it is what it is, so it'll be Turang, Durbin, and Ortiz. And the game is back, so let's see if Fedde can come back out and get a couple more innings in. First pitch to Turang is a changeup for a strike, and here's the 0-1. Inside, fouled back on the cutter, 0-2. Good job by Fedde. Here's the 0-2 pitch to Turang. Fouled back on the cutter, still 0-2. The 0-2 pitch. Way upstairs, 1-2. One-two pitch. Perfectly placed sweeper, low and away, gets Turang. Another great strikeout from Fedde. Second strikeout of the game for Turang. And Fedde is at 5 now in the game. That sweeper has been perfect because it doesn't drop as much as you'd expect it to. It has slider movement almost, but moves a little slower, just doesn't drop off. It's a really strange pitch. Great job by Fedde. 1 out. Here's the first pitch to Durbin. Great cutter on the outside part of the plate. It's 0-1. The 0-1 pitch. Way outside with the sinker. 1-1. One. Pulled too short. Easy play for Win. He'll make the play. 2 outs now in the 5th, and that will bring up Joey Ortiz. So Fedde seems to have settled right back in. Just one bad inning at 26 pitches in the 4th. Other than that, every inning has been 12 pitches or less. And if he can get Ortiz in 4 pitches, that would remain the case, as he misses outside with the sweeper, 1-0. It does feel like the Cardinals have outplayed the Brewers and that they probably deserved to maybe score another run last inning before the umpire took the bat out of Nootbaar's hands. But it is what it is. 2-0 now on Ortiz. Two-0 pitch from Fedde. Ground ball over too short. Mason Wynn charges, makes the throw, and we go to the 6th. 1-2-3 inning for Fedde. Great job locking back in. Due up for the Cardinals are Mason Wynn, Ivan Herrera, and Wilson Contreras. Wynn's obviously been a great fielder. I wonder if Peralta comes back in. He's at 81 pitches. Was really struggling to find the zone. I think I would take him out right now. Did have a long delay prior to the previous inning, though, so Maybe not. I will check out the Brewers bullpen here, see who they might go to, because it's 3 righties due up for the Cardinals. So the Brewers could go to Nick Mears or Abner Uribe, I guess. I mean, probably Nick Mears if anybody, but he pitched yesterday. So, yeah, I don't know. They probably don't go to any of these other guys, so they probably stick with Freddy. Let's see. Yeah, they are going to stick with Freddy Peralta. We'll see if he found the command again. Here's the pitch to Mason Wynn. Curveball low and in, popped up behind the plate. William Contreras drifts back and makes the grab for out number 1. So Freddy gets a nice pop up behind the plate. 1 man out with nobody on. That'll bring up Ivan Herrera. First pitch to Herrera from Peralta. Up and in, fouled back, 0-1. Herrera is 1 for 2 today. He had the first hit of the game for either team in the 4th with a single. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Right down the middle with a fastball, swing and a miss, it's 0-2. So Peralta seems to have settled back in perfectly fine. Just had 1 rough inning after the delay, which makes sense. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Puts a curveball in the dirt, 1-2. It is Herrera, and it'll be Contreras next. So Peralta probably in his final inning of work here. The 1-2 pitch to Herrera. He is outside, 2-2. Cardinals and Brewers battling for that second place spot in the NL Central early in the year here, but obviously with a full season ahead, you're just trying to play winning baseball early in the year. Still over 100, well, about 100 games left. Now a little bit less, 92. Here's the 2-2 pitch to Herrera. Pulled over to short. And the play is made by Ortiz. So 2 outs. And that will bring up Wilson Contreras. Contreras is 0 for 2 today. He is yet to strike out in the game, so at least he's making contact. See if he can find some green grass here. First pitch from Peralta. Chopped foul. It's 0-1. Contreras has a line out and a ground out today. So, good chance to find green grass. Yelich is talking to Mizurowski right now, the rookie from yesterday's game. The 0-1 pitch. Inside with the changeup, 1-1. One pitch, up and in, and it hit Contreras. So Contreras will reach on a hit by pitch that was very lightly grazing his arm. 1 man on with 2 outs, and that'll bring up Alec Burleson. So it will be righty-lefty here. Peralta at 90 pitches. This will very likely be his last inning. They probably don't want to have him face Arenado again, so we'll see what they do here. They will let him face Burleson. So Contreras on first, Burleson at the plate. Here is the pitch. Right down the middle with the changeup for a strike. 0-1. Nice pitch to Burleson there. Burleson is 1 for 2 with a run scored. He has a double in the game. The 0-1 pitch. Top of the zone, pulled For a base hit, it gets past the second baseman Turang, and Contreras will go first to third. So runners at the corners with 2 outs for Nolan Arenado. Cardinals trying to produce with a 2-out rally here. It is 1-1 in the 6th. It was just a fastball right at the top of the zone. Put the barrel on it and pulled it. That's how most of the hits have looked against Peralta today. And Burleson is no different. He has 2 hits now. One of just 3 Cardinals with a hit in the game, but another one of those is Arenado. The manager is out to talk to Peralta. Looks like they're going to leave Peralta in the game. Peralta wants to face Arenado. He wants to get out of this. That's a heck of a mindset right there. I would have gone to the bullpen. I would not ask my starter. I would just take him out. That's not a choice that you make in the heat of the moment. As of course he wants to be able to get out of it. He's responsible for 2 of these runners. But Arenado's already taken him for a double today. And he steps up now with runners at the corners and 2 outs in the 6th. Arenado hitting a career .289 with 4 home runs against Peralta. Here's the first pitch. Right down the middle, popped up. Playable at first base, and the catch is made by Hoskins. So Peralta is able to get out of the inning. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Still 1-1. A good outing from Freddy Peralta. 6 innings, 1 earned. So he was able to do it, knowing he was responsible for those runners. It will be the top of the Brewers order. Frelick, Churio, and Contreras. Fedde's at 70 pitches, so he might be able to go multiple more innings. Frelick has a .746 OPS. 4 home runs, 27 runs scored, 12 stolen bases. Really, really low strikeout rate, good fielding. Just a solid player at 25 years old. I'm going to grab some water. Alrighty. It is 1-0 on Frelick. We are back. Here we go. Second pitch missed inside with the changeup. 2-0. Pitch. Frelick's going to take it for a strike above the zone. So Fedde gets a nice call after Frelick was looking to square around to bunt, but pulled it back. Here's the 2-1 pitch to Sal. Pulled foul, 2-2. Frelick has a single back in the fourth. Did come around to score the Brewers' only run of the game with one of two hits. That single back in the fourth did hit Fedde, so made him uncomfortable in that inning. The 2-2 pitch. Low and away, pulled through for a base hit. Somehow squeezed it past Contreras there. And he has another hit today. That's 2 hits for Frelick. 1 man on with nobody out. They'll bring up Jackson Chourio, who is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Almost a one-handed base hit there. He reached out and just clubbed it over to right field. So Chourio at the plate. Frelick takes a lead. Here we go. First pitch from Fedde. In there for a strike at 93. Sinker at the bottom of the zone. It's 0-1. Chourio does have a strikeout and a flyout today. 12 home runs on the year. The 0-1 pitch as Frelick gets a head start, but it's fouled back, so Frelick will have to return to first. Chourio, there we go. Chourio. It's .351 with 5 home runs and 15 RBIs in 16 games against the Cardinals in his career, so that's been incredible. Helping the Brewers out in this rivalry. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Way outside with the sweeper, 1-2. Fedde checked on Frelick. He still takes a really big lead against Fedde. Here's a 1-2 pitch. He does not go. Ground ball, third base. It is foul. So it's still 1-2. A good at-bat from Chourio. Fedde trying to finish him off. He's going to be reaching 80 pitches here. So this could be the last inning for Fedde as well. Here's the 1-2 pitch as Frelick goes, and Pajes is unable to gun him down at second base. So Frelick has a stolen base. He's in scoring position. 2-2 count with nobody out in the 6th. Good attempt there by Pajes. It looked like Frelick might have come off the bag, but did the tag stay on him? No, it didn't, so he is fine. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Pulled up the middle. It is through, but Frelick went back to second, so he's not going to come in to score. It's runners at the corners. Oh, never mind. Runners at second and third. Chourio went to second base, and somehow the throw went back into the infield, and he got an extra base out of it. So, terrible base running decision from Chourio. Somehow he still got to second, and now they're runners at second and third with nobody out in the 6th. So it's not looking good for the Cardinals. Oh, the Cardinals are challenging, so he might have been out. If he's out, everything's fine. At least you'd have just a runner on third with 1 out. Let's see. Gorman caught the ball. Reaching down. Gets the leg. It looks like right before the foot makes contact. You're going to have to see it one more time. All right, here we go. Super slow motion. foot coming out. Yeah, he's out. He is out at second base. No doubt about it. If you pause it, yeah, the tag comes through before the foot is making any contact with the base. I don't know what Churio was thinking. He is clearly out at second, so it'll be runner at third with one out in the sixth. Sal Frelick will be standing on third. William Contreras will be coming up to the plate. Oh my God, they said the call on the field stands. I think that's ridiculous. He was clearly out. I don't know what is going on. I mean, the only thing that could have been hitting is the spike. The spike of the shoe. Like, not visible because the dirt was flying in front of it or something. I mean, I don't know what they're seeing. I guess irrefutable means something different, but I thought he was out for sure. Here's the pitch to Contreras. It is low, 1-0. So runners at second and third with nobody out. The infield is in. It's going to be a heck of a job for Fedde to get out of this. Let's see if he can get there. The 1-0 in there for a strike with the cutter, 1-1. Contreras hitting .333 this year with runners in scoring position. Cardinals really hoping that he pops one up or strikes out here. The 1-1. He's in the dirt, 2-1. Two-one to Contreras. In there for a strike. Great pitch with the cutter inside. It's 2-2. William Contreras with some words for the umpire, even though that was clearly a strike. This is the 86th pitch of the game for Fedde, the 2-2. Hit high in the air to right field, and Burleson will make the catch at the track, but one run's going to score. And Churio is going to make his way over to third. It is 2-1 Milwaukee in the sixth. I think that's fine. I just think that Churio definitely was out at second, so this is really rough. It looks like Marmol's going to call time. Let's see what's going on. It might be a bullpen situation. It might be an appeal. No, it looks like it's just going to be Cardinals going to the bullpen. Fedde is done. So he is still responsible for Churio at third, even though he shouldn't be. Feels like the umps did not help the Cardinals in this one so far, but still a very close game. It's a one-run deficit. We'll see who the Cardinals are going to face Yelich. My expectation is Steven Matz, but the camera didn't show it. So I guess we'll throw Matz on the screen. He's been really good this year. 1.02 whip, 2.41 ERA, 19 games, 37 and a third innings with 32 strikeouts. It will be Matz, so there you go. He'll be facing Yelich and Hoskins, trying to strand that runner at third. Alrighty, so here we go. Steven Matz. First pitch is low with the curveball, 1-0 on Yelich. So it's 2-1 Milwaukee. Matz has been great. 37 innings pitched this year, about a 1 whip. The 1-0 pitch in there for a strike with the curveball, 1-1. Infield is in on Yelich. The 1-1 pitch. Up and in, fouled away, 1-2. Great job by Matz. Way ahead in the count now. Yelich has been really bad in this situation with a runner on third and less than 2 outs. He's also been really bad against left-handed pitching with just a .540 OPS. The 1-2 is a curveball chopped over to second base. Gorman goes to the plate, and they're going to call him safe. Cardinals lost their challenge, so they're not going to be able to review it. We're going to have to take a look. He was just chopped high in the air. Gorman went straight to the plate. Pajes got the tag on him. Let's see. Foot into the ground. The tag. He was out. It appears he was out. But you can't challenge it now because you already used it. So Churio gets called safe again. And it's 3-1 Brewers. So 1 out, 1 man on. The Brewers lead 3-1, even though they definitely didn't deserve that second run of the inning, as Yelich runs into an out at second, but he's going to get it challenged probably, and they're going to overturn it. He was out by a mile. He's just jogging off. Okay, there we go. So no challenge there. 2 outs, nobody on. Let's lock back in. A great throw from Pajes. Way ahead of Yelich. He was out by a mile. Check swing from Hoskins. Goes around. It's 2-2. Two pitch. Check swing. No, he didn't. 3-2 now on Hoskins. So 2 outs, nobody on. The Brewers lead 3-1. Cardinals will have to come back. Feels like the Brewers didn't earn this lead, but the Cardinals can still take it back. Swing and a miss on a curveball inside. Great pitch from Matz. We go to the 7th. It's 3-1 Milwaukee. Looks like Gorman, Pajes, Ciani. I think this Pajes is due for a big hit here. Hasn't had a very good year, but you can see the frustration in his eyes at the call at the plate, so maybe he'll turn it on. All right, Jared Koenig is in the game for the Brewers, so let's take a look at what he's been up to. A 3.38 ERA, 1.23 whip. Let me see if I can quickly get the Savant up. .23 whip. Great expected ERA. Let's see. Doesn't get a lot of chase or whiff. Also has a pretty high walk rate, but does get a lot of ground balls. So best way is probably just foul him off, try to stall him out and beat him with some base hits at the end of the inning. That's what I would try to do. See if the Cardinals can do it. It is 0-2 on Gorman. He swung on that last pitch and missed. It was a slider. .02 pitch from Koenig to Gorman. Outside with the curveball, 1-2. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Outside, 2-2. So here's the 2-2 pitch to Nolan Gorman. Swing and a miss on a sinker at the bottom of the zone. Great pitch from Koenig. Down goes Gorman. 1 out in the 7th, and that'll bring up Pedro Pajes. Jim Hayes rode down the slide. That's pretty cool. At Miller Park. He rode down there with no injury. Looked to be perfectly fine. Here's the pitch to Pedro Pajes. It is below the zone with the cutter, 1-0. The 1-0 pitch. Strike called there with the changeup, 1-1. Pajes is 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts today. The 1-1 pitch is outside, 2-1. The 2-1 pitch to Pajes. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Top of the zone, popped up. That one is out of play. Still 2-2 on Pajes. Pajes trying to avoid his third strikeout of the day, trying to reach base for the first time today as the Cardinals trail by 2. Two-two pitch to Pajes. Inside, 3-2. On deck is Michael Ciani. He's playing center field today. He also has a walk in the game, so maybe the torch can be passed and a rally can begin here. The 3-2 pitch to Pedro Pajes. Lofted into left field for a base hit. So Pajes is on with 1 out, and that will bring up Michael Ciani. Cardinals are going to pinch hit for Ciani. It'll be Joel Pozo, the usual catcher. So Barrero will probably come in the game after Pozo hits. In center field, so it'll be Pozo, then Nootbaar here in the 7th, trying to rally and tie this one up. First pitch to Pozo from Koenig. Right down the middle with 95. It's 0-1. That was a sinker. Pozo hitting .290 this year with a .732 OPS. Pretty good hitter off the bench. With Pajes on first. The 0-1 pitch. Outside 1-1. Pozo does have a couple of home runs this year, so he's a little bit of a home run threat. 2 home runs in 22 games played. Here's the 1-1 from Koenig. Upstairs, 2-1. So 1 on with 1 out. The 2-1 pitch to Pozo. Inside, pulled foul, 2-2. Pozo is hitting .321 with runners on base this year. Here's the 2-2 pitch to Joel Pozo. Low and in, and that's a ball. Contreras does a fake out move there, trying to act like he didn't know where it was. 3-2. Smart move by Contreras, but Pajes is smart enough not to go. So it's 3-2 with a man on. Here is the full count pitch to Joel Pozo. Low and in, fly ball to right field. Charging and making the catch is Frelick, 2 outs. So that's going to bring up Lars Nootbaar with a lefty-lefty matchup. Nootbaar is 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts today. Kind of got unlucky his last time up. But he has a chance to redeem himself here. Here's the first pitch. Fouled back on a cutter right down the middle. It's 0-1. That's a pitch he might have crushed earlier in the season. Just going through a rough point in the year right now. Here's the 0-1 to Nootbaar. Up and in, fouled back, 0-2. That was a sinker. So Nootbaar way behind now. Trying to stay in this at-bat. Koenig at pitch 21 of the inning. 2 outs, Pajes on first. The 0-2 to Nootbaar. Outside 1-2. Nootbaar trying to find it. Here is the 1-2 pitch from Koenig. Outside again with the curveball. It's 2-2. Good eye by Nootbaar. Trying to make sure he gets something to hit. Home run would tie the game. There's 2 outs. Pajes on first. The 2-2 pitch to Nootbaar. Takes it at the bottom of the zone. That's a curveball. Doesn't get the call. It's 3-2. So Pajes will get a head start with this upcoming pitch. Two outs, 1 man on. Here we go. Pajes with the head start. Here's the 3-2 pitch to Nootbaar. Fouled back, and we'll do it again. So a good at-bat from Nootbaar. Got a little lucky this at-bat, but got unlucky his last time up, so this is fair enough. We'll see if Nootbaar can drive one here. The 3-2 pitch from Koenig to Nootbaar. Strike 3 on a sinker outside. Perfect pitch from Koenig, and down goes Nootbaar. We go to the bottom of the 7th. It is 3-1 Brewers. Alrighty, so Mason Wynn will be due up for the Cardinals in the 8th, but first we have to go up against, looks like Yelich? Nope, sorry, Collins. It's going to be Collins, Turang, and Durbin. Yelich must have got a sac fly earlier. Yeah, he did. Okay. So Victor Scott is going to be in the game, so maybe he doesn't get the full day off. Mats throws a strike. It's 1-1 on Collins. So Cardinals just using Victor Scott. I thought he was getting the full day off because of the hit to the head, but nope. So it's 1-2 on Collins. Cardinals are going to try to rally their way back into this one in their last 2 innings. 1-2 pitch, ground ball. Arenado is there and makes the play. So 1 out in the 7th. And that will bring up Bryce Turang facing Steven Matz. It is a lefty-lefty matchup here. Turang is 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts today. Takes strike 1 up and away, 0-1. The 0-1 pitch caught the outside corner with the curveball, 0-2. So 1 out, nobody on. 0-2 on Bryce Turang. 3-1 game in favor of the Brewers. The pitch is upstairs, 1-2. One-two curveball, popped foul, still 1-2. One-two pitch. Way outside, 2-2. Two-two pitch. Up and in, chopped over too short. Mason Wynn is there. Easy throw. 2 outs now in the 7th. That'll bring up Caleb Durbin. Steven Matz has been great since he came in the game. No way he could have prevented the runs any better than he did. He even got Churio at the plate, and they didn't get the call correct. So you can't blame Matz for anything, really. First pitch to Durbin is in there for a strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1 pitch. In the dirt with a changeup, 1-1. Matz also works really quickly, which is a nice thing for the pace of the game. And for getting the offense right back out on the field. The 1-1 pitch. In the dirt again with the changeup, it's 2-1. Two-one pitch to Durbin. Right down the middle, driven out to center. Victor Scott makes a diving catch in the first play of the game for him. They're going to say he dropped it. Gorman's going to say it was on the transfer. I don't know if the umps care. And Marmol has some words for the umpires. I mean, he rolled twice with the ball, and then it plopped out of the glove after all of that. At what point is it on the transfer? So Durbin gets a free hit from the umpires. And here we go. That'll bring up Joey Ortiz. Ortiz is 0 for 2 today. Now Durbin is on first. Steven Matz pitching out of the stretch. First pitch to Ortiz. Instead, he's going to check on Durbin. Isn't going to get him. Timeout called by Ortiz. Oh, there's a baseball on the field. Someone tossed it up. Probably from the outfield, and Victor Scott just threw it into an area with no fans, so that sucks for the fans. Whatever, 1 man on, 2 outs. First pitch to Ortiz. Pitch out. He wasn't going anywhere. It's 1-0. I don't know why you would do that. Just get the out. Now Ortiz is ahead in the count. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Right down the middle, fouled away. 1-1. 2 outs, 1 man on. The 1-1 pitch to Ortiz, right down the middle with the changeup, 1-2. Joey Ortiz at the plate, the 1-2 pitch. Mats will check on Durbin again. Nothing doing. So that's 2 disengagements. So he's going to have to throw some strikes now. One-two pitch. Swing and a miss on a changeup below the zone. Down goes Ortiz. We'll go to the 8th. It is still 3-1 Milwaukee. Mason Wynn, Ivan Herrera, Wilson Contreras due up. This is the Cardinals' chance to do some damage. Abner Uribe will be coming in the game for the Milwaukee Brewers here. So let's grab Uribe's stats. Usually I talk about who I think is going to come in the game, but this series has been tough. Okay, Uribe has been good this year. 7 pitching run value, 1.11 whip, 1.39 ERA. He is 2-1. If we look at the peripherals, everything is good. Doesn't get a lot of chase, also walks a good number of players. So, I mean, you really do need to just see the ball well. Try to build up some base runners. And then you just need 1 good hit to break through. So here we go. It'll be Uribe, the righty, against 3 righties for the Cardinals, and Wynn, Herrera, and Contreras. Both Herrera and Contreras have a history of having some seasons where they do better against right-handed pitching. So the real platoon advantage really only shows up for Mason Wynn. First pitch to Wynn. Throws a slider right down the middle. It's 0-1. Oh, 1 pitch to Wynn from Abner Uribe. Swing and a miss on a slider outside. It's 0-2. Really nice stuff from Uribe, taking advantage of the righty-righty matchup, drawing the chase with the slider. Here's the 0-2 to Wynn. Up and away with 100. Missed it, 1-2. This is where a lot of the strategy is going to come in. Foul off a lot of pitches here. Try to make him miss the zone. That's one of the best ways to beat this guy. The 1-2 pitch to Wynn. Up and away, fouled off. Great job by Wynn. Gotta put men on the base paths. That's how you're going to beat this guy and beat the Brewers today. Cardinals trail by 2 in the 8th. It is 3-1 Milwaukee. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Wynn. Swing and a miss on a slider outside. Down goes Wynn. So 1 out, nobody on, and that'll bring up Ivan Herrera. That is a perfect pitch from Uribe. He might have even been able to get the strike call, with Williams sitting out there. And Wynn had no chance at touching that one. But Ivan Herrera does have a hit today. He's 1 for 3. First pitch to Ivan Herrera. Up and away, gets the strike call with the sinker, perfectly placed at 99. It's 0-1. The 0-1 pitch to Herrera. Swing and a miss on a slider below the zone. It's 0-2. That was a great pitch from Uribe as well. Tunneled it right off of that fastball. And Herrera guessed wrong. Oh, 2 pitch. Slider at the bottom of the zone, grounded over to short. Tough play, but it is made. Good job at short by Ortiz. 2 outs. And that will bring up Wilson Contreras. So Contreras is just going to want to reach base here. Burleson is 2 for 3 on deck. And Burleson also has that platoon advantage. So got to find a way to get on base any way possible. Contreras was hit by a pitch earlier today. First pitch, low and away with the slider, 1-0. The 1-0 to Wilson Contreras is low and away with the slider again, 2-0. Uribe does have a decently high walk rate. 2-0 pitch. Outside, that's a ball. 3-0 now on Contreras. So Alec Burleson would be able to come up to the plate if Contreras is able to reach. And he's way ahead in the count here. The 3-0 pitch. Outside, ball 4. So a 4-pitch walk of Wilson Contreras. And that'll bring up Alec Burleson with a chance to tie the game. Burleson is the tying run. He is 2 for 3 today with a run scored. Uribe does provide a lot of power with these fast pitches. Let's see if Burleson can find the right swing. First pitch to Burleson. Low and in, the ball's going to skip past William Contreras and allow Wilson Contreras to reach second base. So now Burleson has an RBI chance with any sort of hit. Changes the at-bat a little bit. It's 1-0. The base is also open, so might change the approach from the Brewers side as well. 2 outs. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Burleson. Right down the middle with 100. That was a sinker. It's 1-1. The 1-1. Sinker right down the middle, popped up. Looks to be potentially playable. But it's into the seats, 1-2. All right, 2 outs. 1-2 count on Burleson. Uribe's going right after him, even though Wilson Contreras is in scoring position. The 1-2 pitch now to Burleson. Up and in, pulled, but a great play at first is made by Hoskins, and we'll go to the bottom of the 8th. Still 3-1 Brewers. It was a great piece of contact there from Burleson, just some bad luck. All right, now we can play the bullpen game. I'm going to take a look. So Matz is through an inning and 2/3. Cardinals still trailed by 2. But it's going to be the top of the order with Sal Frelick. So let's take a look at their handedness. Frelick is a left-handed hitter. Strictly, so Matz could definitely stay in the game against him. After that point, it is Churio and Contreras. I believe they're both just strictly right-handed hitters. Yep, so you could stick with Matz and then go to a righty to face the 2 righties, but that righty might also have to face Yelich, so it's an interesting discussion. I mean, when was the last time a lot of these guys in the bullpen even pitched? It's been a few days for Leahy. It's been all week for JoJo Romero as well. So you could go to a right-handed pitcher right now, and then you could go to JoJo against Yelich and Hoskins. Couple good options there. Best decision probably is to stick with Matz for 1 out, because he's been really good. You don't want to play a variable that you don't need to. Then you go to a righty like Leahy or Maton. Probably Maton. Get Maton some work. And then that would get you through the inning. So Matz and Maton, that's what I would do. I would do M&M here in the 8th. But the Cardinals will go straight to, looks like Riley O'Brien. So they're sticking with the losing, the when you're losing, go to your AAA arm strategy, which is not what I love when you're in a 2-run game. It's a very close game. You could still come back. But let's see what O'Brien can do against Frelick. Missed inside and missed low with the sinker. It's 2-0 now on Frelick. Two-0 pitch. Inside, fouled off of the foot of Frelick. It's 2-1. Frelick is 2 for 3 today. Does have a stolen base and a couple of runs scored with 2 singles. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Low and in. Almost hit him. 3-1 now on Frelick. (3-1). In there for a strike with the slider. It's 3-2. On deck is Jackson Churio. He's 1 for 3 today. Does have a strikeout in the game. O'Brien pitching to Frelick. The 3-2 pitch. Check swing. No, he did not. Oh my goodness. They're going to say he did. So a strikeout of Frelick. 1 out in the 8th. And that will bring up Jackson Churio. Huh. I guess he did. Okay. I didn't see the beginning of that swing. He held it out as if he didn't for a really long time, but at the beginning of the swing, he went around, so I can see why they called it like that. 0-1 on Churio, throws the sinker at the bottom of the zone. Churio 1 for 3 with just a single. He should not have scored a run. Shouldn't have even been able to advance to second base, but they got some lucky calls. So he does have a run scored recorded in the game. Here's the 1-1. Inside, 2-1 now on Churio. Two-one pitch. Fly ball, playable in center for Scott, and he makes the catch. So 2 outs. And that's going to bring up William Contreras. Contreras is 1 for 2 today. Does have 2 RBIs. One of those came on a sac fly. Here's the pitch. Takes a strike low and away with the slider. It's 0-1. Oh, 1 pitch. In the dirt, low and away with the curveball. 1-1. The 1-1 pitch from O'Brien. He puts it in the dirt. It's 2-1. We look ahead to the Cardinal ninth. They will have Arenado, Gorman, and Pages due up. Probably have a pinch hitter available. I'm not sure if any of them are quality enough unless Donovan's ready. 2-1, swing and a miss on a sinker at the top of the zone. 2-2. This is one of those games where it feels like the roster performed well enough to win the game, and yet you're down by 2 runs as you head into the ninth. 2-2 pitch to Contreras, called time. Contreras steps out. All right. 2-2 pitch. Way low and away with the curveball. 3-2. On deck is Christian Yelich. He has 13 home runs this year. The 3-2. Chopped over to third. It's perfectly rolled foul. Stayed right on the line, right until that third base bag. So luckily for the Cardinals, it did roll foul. Three-two pitch to William Contreras. Chopped into shortstop. That one's easy for Mason Wynn. And we'll go to the ninth. The Cardinals trail 3-1 in Milwaukee, heading to the ninth. It's going to be Arenado, Gorman, and Pages due up. Let's see what they can do. So this is a simple one. We can go ahead and see who the closer is. It is Megill. He got a save 3 days ago. They did pitch Ashby for a save yesterday. But that was one of those strange situations where... Actually, I have no idea how he got a save yesterday. But 33 pitches, good for him. In this case, we expect Megill to be back as the closer. 1.25 whip, he's been pretty good. Does have a really high walk rate and a high barrel rate, so with a low ground ball rate. So the Cardinals just need to get a man on and hit a homer, man. I mean, you draw a walk, you hit a homer. It's the tale as old as time. That's what you're going to want to do against Megill. Just grind out an at-bat and wait for your pitch. With Gorman coming up, it's perfect. So Arenado needs to work a long at-bat, try to draw a walk, and leave it up to Pages and Gorman. It is going to be Trevor Megill. Does have a lot of velocity on the fastball, but barrel rate's pretty high. Does get a lot of swing and miss, so we're just hoping he throws the wrong pitch to Gorman. We could check out the pitch mix while we're at it. Fastball and curveball. I mean, that just can't be effective. There's no way that that's going to work against Gorman. I feel decent about this because Gorman does pretty well against curveballs. So here we go. Arenado, game on the line here. Let's see if he can start out a rally. It's going to be Arenado, and then it will be Gorman here in the 9th. Arenado is 1 for 3 today with an RBI double. Ended up stranded on second after that double. But a chance to be the hero here for the Cardinals by reaching base and giving Gorman a chance. First pitch from Miguel. Missed low and away. It's 1-0. That was the curveball. Arenado is 3 for 6 with 2 home runs against Miguel in his career, but he doesn't need a homer here. The 1-0. Curveball finds the zone. It's 1-1. Probably wouldn't mind hitting a homer. Miguel's a really big guy. Very tall. Here's the 1-1. Curveball finds the zone again at 88. It's 1-2. So all curveballs against Arenado so far. He has never struck out Arenado in 6 at-bats. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Goes to the curveball low and away. No, he didn't. It's 2-2. Walk is as good as a homer here in the 9th. Just got to get the base runner. 2-2 pitch to Arenado. Fastball low and away. Fly ball to right. Playable for Frelick, and he makes the catch. 1 out in the 9th. That's going to bring up Nolan Gorman. So that kind of spoils the plans for the Cardinals. Would have loved to have Gorman up with a chance to tie the game. Instead, now he has to work in at-bat. And he just needs to reach base, so that would take any of his power out of the equation. Here's the first pitch to Nolan Gorman. Fastball right down the middle, smokes it out to left center field. It's going to roll up off the wall. That's going to be a double for Gorman. And the Cardinals are in business in the 9th. The tying run coming up to the plate will be Pedro Pajes. This was just a fastball right down the middle. I don't know why that's what they decided to go to. 99 miles an hour. Gorman put a good swing on it. No one was out there in left center. And he is waiting on second with 1 out in the 9th. Cardinals still trail 3-1. Pedro Pajes is aware of the robbery that was taking place at the plate earlier. So maybe he can channel some of that into some energy here. He is 1 for 3 with a single, which happened after 2 strikeouts today. So he's been locked in after those bad calls. Let's see. Here's the pitch to Pajes. Curveball, check swing. Yes, he did, they say. It's 0-1. So that's got to frustrate Pajes even more. So an 0-1 count with 1 out. And Gorman on second. The 0-1 pitch. They go to the fastball inside. Gets the call. It's 0-2. See if... Oh, Miguel's going to step off. Cardinals are just 1 for 9 with runners in scoring position in this series. Brewers are 4 for 8, and that's been the difference so far. The 0-2 to Pajes is a curveball in the dirt, 1-2. That was just a bad pitch from Miguel. He could probably try that again. Put it closer, or he could go to the fastball. Let's see if Pajes can find one. The 1-2 pitch, swing, and a foul tap. So it's still 1-2. Good job by Pajes to make contact. Just got to try to pass the baton. You have Victor Scott available on deck. Here's a 1-2 pitch to Pajes. Check swing. No, he didn't. 2-2. Nice long at-bat by Pajes. He is the tying run at the plate. The 2-2 pitch from Miguel. Curveball, low and away, swing and a miss, and down goes Pajes. So the Cardinals are down to their final out. And that's going to come in the form of Victor Scott. Victor Scott has not hit yet today. Pozo pinch hit earlier in the game against the left-handed reliever. And Scott was robbed in center of a nice catch. So maybe he has some pent-up energy. Swings and fouls back a 100-mile-an-hour fastball. It's 0-1. The 0-1 pitch from Miguel. Outside. A fake throw back to second there on Gorman. Nothing doing. It's 1-1. Victor Scott does have 2 home runs this year. Another one would be absolutely massive here. Here's the 1-1 pitch from Miguel. Swing and a miss on a curve ball. Below the zone, 1-2. So let's see if Victor Scott can work a long at bat. And reach base here with 2 outs in the 9th. The Cardinals are down to their final strike. Here is the 1-2. Below the zone. Good take by Scott. It's 2-2. Two outs, 2-2 count. The pitch is low, 3-2 on Scott. On deck is Lars Nootbaar, who is 0 for 4 today, but has a big swing in him. The 3-2 pitch to Scott. Fastball driven up the middle. That's a base hit for Scott. Gorman's going to come around third. He will score, and it is 3-2 Brewers in the 9th with Victor Scott on first. So here's where you would probably think about stealing second base. Game on the line. If Nootbaar can steal second, if Scott could steal second, Nootbaar could drive him in with a single. Close game now in the 9th. Potential blown save for Miguel if Nootbaar can put one into a gap here. You don't really want to take the bat out of Nootbaar's hands, but with Victor Scott's speed, you almost have to put him in scoring position. But if they throw a fastball outside, William Contreras can get him. So we'll have to see. Nootbaar does have a home run swing. Has a few home runs this year. What you would be looking for here is a low outside fastball to Nootbaar. Here we go. First pitch to Lars Nootbaar with the game on the line. Instead, they're going to check on Victor Scott, so that makes sense. One disengagement there. A lot of room in right center for Nootbaar to hit the ball. First pitch from Miguel. Curveball at the top of the zone. Scott goes and steals second. So Victor Scott is in scoring position, but it's 0-1 on Nootbaar. Big stolen base from Scott. Big chance for Nootbaar here. The 0-1 pitch to Nootbaar. He's fouled off his leg. It's 0-2. Two outs. Scott on second. Nootbaar at the plate. Trying to avoid a golden sombrero and tie the game. The 0-2 pitch to Nootbaar. Swing and a miss on a curveball below the zone. Contreras will have to make the throw to first, but he does, and the game is over. Nootbaar has been incredibly bad for the Cardinals recently. And the Cardinals were robbed today by the umpires. It is a one-run win for the Brewers. Chourio did not score. Nobody can convince me otherwise, but tough luck. Cardinals lose. It's their 6th straight loss. And the Brewers are now 1.5 games ahead of them in the division.